can see you there. I'm Plumpkin, and today, or not really my name, but we're going to try Core 2 Quad with VR. Why? Because why not? And also someone put on a comment on my video saying, wow, why can't Core 2 Quad so powerful? Why are you saying it's not? It can run Overwatch at 100 frames per second, so the Core 2 Quad is the most powerful thing ever. I'm like, you know, how powerful really is it? We aren't going to be finding out if it's like ray tracing capable, 2080, but we will be seeing if, you know, you could run VR games with it. Because I wanted to see, like, if you have a Core 2 Quad, could you even, like, just upgrade your graphics card to a 970, which is what I have in my normal computer, and run VR with it? Let's find out. Also, before anyone gets too mad at me, yes, this is not a Core 2 Quad. This one is actually a Intel Xeon W3530. But this is not what we're using. I'm just using this as a prop because that's in a computer right now, so I don't really want to rip it out as someone's using that. So let's get into it. So the way I set up this rig is I took out my 970 from my normal computer and put it in my younger brother's computer, who has a Core 2 Quad q6600. I actually tried running VR with his 570, but that just didn't work at all. So I decided to try and just shove my graphics card and see what happens. Somehow the drivers actually installed pretty much immediately. Wasn't expecting that, but that doesn't really matter. And then I ran some VR games, and they're not that great. They're like, okay, they're actually more playable than I thought, but one thing that was really noticeable is the menu times. Like, I don't know why, but maybe it's the 4 gigabytes of RAM. Did I forget to mention that? Yes, it has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's pretty bad, but it's so slow. It may also have been his hard drive, but loading times were, it was so terrible that I took the headset off, played a game of Overwatch, and came back on. That's how slow it was. Okay, it wasn't that slow, but it was like about 7 minutes just to load into not Google, what am I talking about? Steam VR Home. 7 minutes. That's why. But that's besides the point. I have a counter going on the screen somewhere, which will show kind of like the frame rate I'm expecting. I didn't actually see the frame rate, but it tells me like the latency of times. And when something on the graph goes red, like the little bar goes red, that's bad. It means it's below 90 frames a second, which is the refresh rate of the HTC Vive screens. And that happened a lot. There was stuttering, there was slowness. It was usable and it worked, but it was not the best VR experience. It was actually better than I was expecting. Now, I thought it was going to be completely unplayable, but I actually played it for a little bit and I didn't get very nauseated, so, and notice that I said very nauseated. I still got a little bit. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. So then I remembered, wait, it's not overclocked with tape, which you can see here. Here? No, here. You can see there. So we overclocked it with tape again, yay, because I took away the tape for a video, the update video, and didn't put it back on because it's too lazy. So now we have tape on it again, and it's overclocked to 3 gigahertz again. And now we can completely test it with overclock. And it made almost no difference. Like, at all. There was a little bit of a difference, but not enough. I actually ran the Steam VR testing app and to see if it was ready for VR, which it wasn't, which makes sense. It said it was VR capable, but what I find weird is that the processor was red before. It was red, being like, this is terrible, don't use it. So I was like, yeah, I was expecting that. Then when I overclocked it to 3 gigahertz, it was yellow, which means it's VR ready. No, sorry. What is it again? Green is VR ready, yellow is capable, and red is not capable. So it's capable, which so you can tell the overclock made a difference, but it was still not VR ready, which I wouldn't expect it to be. You know what? I don't think I can ever trust this tool anymore. I just ran it with my normal computer, with my 970, and my i5-8600K overclocked to 5 GHz, even though it doesn't show it. And I got actually lower in the little bar than the other computer. I could not show details for the other computer, so I'm not really able to compare it to anything, but this is what it is in case for some reason anyone's wondering. I don't really understand this. Why would I get a lower result? Maybe I didn't get a lower result, maybe it's actually better, but I can't tell. All I'm going off of is the bar, which mine is apparently worse. So I have to agree with the everyone who gave this focus. Everyone who gave this mixed reviews, you know, I have to agree with you. That this just doesn't make any sense. It was still better than without the overclock, so it did make a difference. And I still recommend people overclocking a Core 2 Quad q6600 tape, because as long as you do it properly, then it should never damage anything. People say it will damage stuff, but it's been running on my system for over a year now with no problems. Well, not my system, my younger brother's system, but still, I've had no problems with it. So, as long as you do it right and you're comfortable, of course don't do something if you aren't comfortable doing, or if it's like your only computer, because then there's a chance it could not work or break or something. Like, it's still putting tape in a computer socket, like it's not 100% safe, but that's besides the point. This is about VR. So I tried a few games. I also tried Beat Saber, which is one of my favorite VR games, which ran actually surprisingly well. I noticed it was pretty slow, but it was fine. It was running at like 60 frames per second and sometimes even 90. Like, it wasn't unplayable. So if you have a system like a Core 2 Quad and you, for some weird reason, you really want VR, but you can't afford a new who does this video apply to? Why am I doing this? But if you have, for some reason, want to run VR on a Core 2 Quad with a 970, it's possible, you can do it, and it's almost playable. Note, I didn't try like Fallout 4 VR, that probably wouldn't work very well. Fallout 4 VR was a lot more intensive. It doesn't even run on my computer very well with my 970. But a lighter game like Beat Saber and some of the lab games, like from the lab, actually are pretty good. Like, they're okay. I wouldn't recommend buying like an HTC Vive for it. Maybe get like an Oculus if it's on sale, and for some reason you have a 970 with a Core 2 Quad q6600. I'd recommend upgrading your CPU personally, but if you for some reason are really attached to your Core 2 Quad, you can stick with it. I don't see any problems with it other than it will bottleneck, but not as much as I thought, to be honest. Probably also my RAM with 4 GB of DDR2 800 MHz is really slow. Like, so slow. But hey, why not try it? And I know I haven't been uploading recently, so I'm sorry about that, and I'll probably be able to upload less when school starts, which is probably like at the same time as this video comes out, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, thanks for watching though, and I'll see you next time.